it wasn't just on DJ. There were a couple situations on some critical third downs where, we weren't on the same page from a quarterback receiver standpoint, and then that could cause a guy to start pressing. So, obviously with his preparation, I know he was locked in. I know he wanted to be successful. Might not have had, the early start, but proud of the way that he responded down the stretch.
Tony, with the passing game, did you feel like it was more of missed throws, miscommunication, or receivers not getting open? Just what did you see as kind of issues with it?
There were a couple situations where we had some option routes and some things that they can do a little bit different, and we weren't on the same page there. And again, you got to work through those things as you go through the season from a timing and being on the same page. And there were a couple of times from a progression standpoint we didn't start the progression exactly where we needed to start it. And there were a couple of times I know there was a situation right after that turnover that I put him in a tough spot. Looked down at the call sheet and was reading it off the sheet and saw it, but then I called it the wrong way. So I put him in a tough situation that resulted in one of the sacks. And so I think it's just a combination of a lot of things. But the biggest thing is that in the critical moments we didn't make the plays that we needed to make, and they ended up making the play in the critical moment.
With Justin, were you surprised he didn't have more of an impact in the slot and more of an impact on the game?
I think it was tough, all the way around. Especially we had 7 plays in the first quarter, and I think we started both drives, inside the 10-yard line. And so kudos to the defense, man. They played their butts off and battled through while we had the backup field position. So I think it was just a combination of field position early on, and then we were never really able to establish a rhythm. And then when you're not in rhythm, then you're just trying to figure out, what are the best, play calls that you get yourself into trying to establish that rhythm. And then at the end of the day, once you have that rhythm, then you can start thinking about getting back to your players and getting them certain touches.
Hey, Tony, what went into the decision at the end of the game to go for it on that fourth down?
I just asked Coach what you want to do, and he said, "Hey, let's go try and win the game." And so we went for a 4th and 5, a manageable situation. Coach will be able to tell you kind of his thought process. For me, I'm just asking, "Hey, Coach, are you going to punt here? Or are you going to go for it?" And he said, "Hey, let's go try and win the game." And that was the thought process that he expressed to me.
Tony, the quarterback run game was basically non-existent. Can you maybe share some insight into why that was?
Right, and we had a couple of called runs there. Biggest thing is just we weren't able to establish a rhythm, and so we were trying to kind of settle DJ in, give him just some rhythm throws to be able to get him under control, get him back, kind of feeling like he's got command of the game. And so, biggest thing for us was the run game. We were trying to establish it, and you take out the sacks, and we had over 3+ yards to carry or so in that range. But biggest thing is when we started to get going, then we would have some critical penalties, or we'd have a one-on-one breakdown or a matchup issue that resulted in a sack. And so the biggest thing was it's just hard to just establish an overall rhythm to be able to get to any kind of run game.
Coach, on the interception in particular, what did you see there?
Biggest thing there is it was a situation where, targeting Ross there, giving him the ability to kind of read leverage. And if you're going to read leverage and go inside, then you got to make sure you do a good job of protecting the quarterback by crossing any kind of inside leverage defender's face. And we didn't get across his face. I think the quarterback was trusting his receiver. He delivered the ball, and we didn't protect him from a receiver standpoint by crossing that guy's face. So it was just one of those deals where that's one of those critical plays that I was talking about that we didn't execute it at a high enough level, and they ended up making a play.
Tony, how good was this Georgia defense in terms of some of the other elite defenses y'all have played? How much of it was them?
You gotta tip your hat to those guys. They played hard. I thought they did a couple of things early on, changed up and broke some tendencies, especially in particular on that first 3rd and long. They hadn't been a team that had dropped a ton of drop 8 in that situation, so they did a good job there. They're going to be up there with some of the top defenses. Again, they've been top stopping the run for the last two seasons. They got a lot of experience, a lot of depth, and as they continue to play throughout the course of the season, I think their secondary will continue to improve. So it's a good defense. The biggest thing for us is is we got to take away from it that, hey, we can play with them if we execute at a high level. But if we don't make the critical plays, they're too good of a defense that they're going to be able to capitalize on those mistakes.
Tony,
Tony.
this is Gene in Charleston. What's your biggest concern going forward as to what might not be as easily fixable after tonight?
I have to watch the tape to be able to honestly answer that. The biggest thing for me right now is making sure that the guys respond the right way, taking ownership of the good and the bad, and then come back to work on Monday with the mindset of trying to go 1-0 on the week, win the day. That's the biggest challenge for me. I think that as we look at the film, DJ will easily see opportunities to be able to step up in the pocket. There's going to be some situations where he's going to learn where he can throw the ball away just to get us to the next play as opposed to trying to extend it sometimes. So right now, things look very, very correctable. The biggest thing is our guys fought hard. They played all the way till the end. They scrapped. They didn't back down. And if you have that, from the beginning, then you can build off all the other things schematically. We'll get better on our timing. We'll do a better job as coaches, making sure that they put them, in the best situation possible. But the biggest thing for us is just to go back and, be humble, go back to work, own our mistakes, and attack our mistakes throughout the course of the week and figure out a way to go 1-0 next week.
Tony, this is Anna with Clemson 24/7. What was kind of the main issue, I guess, in the lack of rhythm between the pass catchers and DJ? The offensive line was letting guys through, and there wasn't a lot of time, but it did seem like there was, I guess, a lack of rhythm between DJ and the receivers.
Yeah, we'll have to look on tape to see exactly what happened. But as you look through it, there were a couple of missed assignments, that we need to clean up. Where the quarterback's expecting the guy to be in one place and the receivers in another place. So that's some things that happen there. And then, trying to get five guys out on the route to really stress the defense, puts a little more pressure on the offensive line, and we got to do a better job of passing off some of the twists. And making sure that we bump back so that we can close off gaps and buy the quarterback a little bit more time. The quarterback's got to do a good job of stepping up in the pocket, and not drifting in the pocket one side or another, but step up in the pocket, trust his progression, deliver the ball downfield. So there's going to be some things that we'll see that we can get better, but I believe it'll all be fixable.
Tony, was Ngata a bright spot for you guys, and what did you see from him tonight?
I thought he made some tough catches, some contested plays. Man, he was going across the middle. He was catching balls in traffic, taking some big hits. So it was good to see him, be able to complete a game, go out there and play, from start to finish, at a high level. And so it was a bright spot for us, and we're going to need him to be at his best down the stretch.
You mentioned DJ going through his progressions. What was your evaluation of his ability to go past his first read tonight?
And I'll have to look at the video. Like I said, there were some situations where we didn't have a receiver in the right spot. What I know about DJ is he's got unbelievable character. Man, he's going to own this game right here. He's going to get better, and the future is still extremely bright for DJ. So again, not the outcome that we wanted. We did play hard, but we didn't play clean enough, and that's going to be the challenge on us as coaches and players to go back to work and make sure that we fix the things that are fixable.
Tony, what went into the decision to hold Lynn J out for as long as you guys did?
Lynn J, it's been a battle, and I trust CJ's, judgment right there. He felt like, those other guys, had a better job throughout the course of camp from a total standpoint, but I'm proud of him and kind of waiting for his opportunity to get in there. And I thought he brought us a little bit of a spark, made a couple plays for us, and we're going to need him. I mean, he's played a lot of football for us. It's just a tough situation. We got, some highly talented guys in a competitive room and trying to find enough snaps for all those guys.
Kind of sticking with the running backs, just quickly, what did you think of Will Shipley's debut?
Just proud of him to be able to go in there and with the lights the way they were in the game, right out the gate, goes in there and makes a big third down conversion play for us, breaks the tackle. He looked just like I thought he would, that the moment wouldn't be too big for him. So, proud of his debut, and there's going to be some opportunities that he's going to learn from his tape. But same thing I said about DJ, what I know about Will Shipley, and he's a young man of character that he's going to attack, everything that he does, and he'll get better as well.
With
Anything
the
else?
interior, I was just going to ask, with the interior of the offensive line and a new center, starting a true freshman at left guard, was that a concern entering the game? And I guess how did you think that group in the middle performed?
You got to watch the film to truly evaluate there. But I thought that we did have one snap, but then there was another one that was dropped that was right in the quarterback's hand. So obviously that's not on the interior. And man, they're playing against some of the best guys in the country in what Georgia presents in the interior of the offensive line. So we'll go and we'll watch the film, but that's what we decided is going to be our starting group going forward, unless something changes down the road from a competition standpoint. But man, to go in there, to play with a new center, to go in there and have a new left guard, man, proud of those guys, the way they competed. And again, obviously you're going to have some challenges and some opportunities to grow. So we'll get on the film, we'll make sure we identify those, and we'll figure out ways to help these young men get better.
We have time for one more question. Okay, if there's nothing else for Coach, we'll end it here, and we'll have DJ Uiagalelei up next. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank y'all.